All right, so it's about 10 o'clock here. I just put in the boat in Newtown. This is really only about my 4th time using it. But today I'm gonna see how far I can get this boat up north on the Housatonic. The limiting factor is going to be either the current is gonna be too strong for the motor to overcome, or the river's gonna get too shallow, and the boat can go in about a foot of water, but that's about it. So I wanna see what the furthest north point is that I can take the boat on the Housatonic. All right, so I reached the portage and I put my launch wheels down. So you can see there's the wheels. And now we're gonna go around this portage. Okay, so I'm pulling the raft around and it's pretty heavy. I took the gas can out, but once I'm over the rocks, rolling it is really easy. So I've reached the center of New Milford. Just to my right is the New Milford Green up above on the hill. And from here, the river is going to get a little bit faster and shallower. So we'll have to see what happens. It's getting pretty shallow here. And there's a big island for geese on it. I had to go up a section of riffles that was like 6 inches deep, and I tried, I couldn't do it. The prop just kept hitting rocks, and the problem is that you need to be at absolute full throttle in shallow drive just to overcome the current. If you're not at full throttle, you'll actually start moving backwards, and at full throttle the bow is completely out of the water, so I'm literally just as far forward as I can. I'm holding on to I'm white knuckle gripping the throttle with my 2 fingers, barely holding onto it all the way forward, trying to keep the bow down. So that's what I was trying to do to get up the river, but it got too shallow and I had to stop on a sandbar, turn around, and try something else. This is probably common knowledge to most boaters who go up river, but to get over the riffles, I came up with a really great technique. So in shallow drive, I would go full throttle, I'd let off, and immediately this wave would come from the stern, from the prop, lift up the back of the boat over the riffles. I'd hit full throttle, keep going, stop again, so full throttle right to idle, let the stern wave carry me over the rocks, and I kept doing that for about 100 yards or so to get from that sandbar up to Boardman Bridge here. So I don't know how much further I can go past Boardman Bridge, but now that I have this new technique, I will, maybe I can get farther. We'll see. It should be interesting to see how far I can get. Probably not that much farther though. This is as far as I can go. I'm gonna turn around here and head back down. But this is it. This is the absolute farthest I can go. The riffles are just too strong. Just gonna coast down. So the riffles are too strong there. It's too shallow. I'm using my technique, but I'm still hitting, and you can see there's a lot of rocks up there. So this is it. I'm gonna head back down. But all in all, that was a really exciting adventure. I never thought I'd be able to overcome the current this far up. My goal was to make it to the New Milford Brewery, but I went way past that. And I think the boat did great. So we'll head back down to Newtown, hopefully before it gets dark. I really hate giving up on these adventures, and it took me so long to get up here. I'm gonna try one more time on the right side of the island. Overcome the current right here. I'm just standing still. That's about it, that rock right there. All right, so that was officially the farthest that I can go. Every time I think there's a dead end, I find another way around an island or a deeper channel, and I make it like another 50 feet farther. But that's officially as far as I can go. I'm gonna head back down now. My technique is working amazing. I mean, I was just standing still. You could see the footage where the rock is in the water. I'm at full throttle, and I'm not moving. I'm parallel with the rock. Let off the throttle. The wave pushes me a good 2-3 feet past the rock, and get back on the throttle. Keep going. Let off, and I just inch just 2-3 feet at a time past the rock. It works. I mean, it's great for getting past obstacles, but wouldn't want to do this up the whole entire Housatonic River. And I know there is flat water further up, but I also know that there's rapids. So I think we'll call it a day here and head back. So you can see the shallow drive position of the motor, how it's up at an angle like that. And the prop is kind of like almost just out of the water. So I got the motor turned off here, and I'm going back through the riffles. And the best part is I get to just turn the motor off, and I'm just using the paddles to steer through it nice and quiet and no stress, just enjoying the current pulling me. All right, so I still got plenty of daylight left here. So this is the West Housatonic River. I'm gonna try going up this. I mean, this looks like maybe 8 inches of water, 6 to 8 inches of water. So let's put it in shallow drive, and there's a nice slow current, so I'm just gonna kind of idle up this river and see how far I can get. bends, I'm usually fine. Really back down around it easily. We're coming up to a stone bridge, using a railroad bridge. This is as far as I can go here. There's a log across the river. We're at the portage. Come on. I usually only stack rocks when I'm off-roading, but in this case, boating can require stacking rocks as well for the launch wheels to get over this lip. I just don't think I'm gonna be able to get over that otherwise, even without the gas tank and all the weight in there. So I'm gonna make a little ramp of rock, make it easier. Then we have these oversized knobby tires to get through stuff like that. Alright, so I went up the West Housatonic River until I hit a log. Now I'm going up the Still River, looking for, to see how far I can go. I think there's some ripples up ahead. Oh yeah, there's some real ripples right there. Not going to be able to get over that. Check it out though. So I got to a really nice waterfall here, and that's actually probably the most scenic stream that I've seen so far on the entire trip. So it's really rewarding just to see these beautiful places that I wouldn't really have gotten to if I wasn't in the boat. Is leaves getting caught on the outboard. Like, as soon as that happens, I lose like 50% of my power, so I gotta shut off the engine and just fish down and pull the leaves off the bottom of the outboard. It doesn't take a lot to cause problems either. The leaves are definitely the most annoying thing. Because if you get those leaves on there, the boat won't go fast and it won't plane. So also I'm playing around with the trim on the outboard. So I started off on the second hole for all of today, and just now it's like 4:30 or so. So I'm trying to make up some time. So I put it on. So at the second hole, I could do a top speed of 13. put it on the 4th hole, so it's a little bit harder to get it to plane. Like I have to put my weight really far forward, but once I get it up to speed, it can do 14, so I gain an extra 1 mile per hour. And the wheels even make it easier to get it onto the trailer. All right, so I'm back here at the boat launch in Newtown, and that was a very successful trip. I went as far as I possibly could up the Housatonic River, and maybe if the water level is higher and I have a more powerful motor, at some point I can make it up farther. But for now, I have reached the extreme limit of how far north I can go on the Housatonic, and now I should probably start exploring south towards Long Island Sound.